Yeah. In the previous session, in the morning class, we have seen the statement of superposition theorem. Okay. I will repeat this. In any linear bilateral network having more than one independent sources, the response in any element is the algebraic sum of all the responses due to each independent source acting independently by keeping all other sources inactive. Okay, one thing what we should remember here is it is about independent source, okay, not dependent source. This statement is not applicable for dependent source. So like I explained in the morning session that in any element, the response in the effect, okay, if a response is anything that I wish to find out. If I want my current, it is a response. If I want voltage drop, it is a response. Okay, voltage drop will not exist without current, okay, in any element. So the response generally is considered to be the current in any element when I connect any element to the source. So if I consider the total current drawn by any element is because of the effect of all the sources those are present in the circuit. Okay. So that is what the meaning of the statement is. A second. Okay. Yeah, but there is a limitation. Okay, before that, uh, by keeping the other sources inactive, we have seen. Okay, one is it is applicable to only linear circuits because the principle itself is linear. So I cannot apply it to non-linear circuits. The network should be bilateral. The current flow should be in either direction of the circuit, and it is applicable only when there are more than one independent sources. So there should be multiple independent sources acting in the circuit. Okay, it is applicable only to the independent sources by keeping the other sources inactive. Sir, 15th year running, sir. 14 year 3 months. 15 and 15th year. Okay. So individually, when considered the response of individual sources by keeping other sources inactive. So when I want to keep other sources inactive, then I should make their values as 0. I can make the value of voltage source 0 by making it short circuit or replace it by internal impedance that will come in series with the voltage source. A current source is made 0 by replacing it with open circuit. A dependent source in the circuit is kept as it is without taking any change. Okay. So this is what we have to do. So the limitation of superposition theorem is that it cannot be applied to find out the power like I want to find the current. That is, I cannot say by using superposition principle that the power delivered to a particular element is the algebraic sum of all the powers of all the sources. Okay, because power is not a linear parameter, P is equals to, okay, it is V into I, or it is I square R, or it is V square by R. But in all the cases, there is a product. It is a product of current and current, product of voltage and voltage, product of voltage and current. Okay. This is the reason why I cannot apply a superposition theorem directly to find the power in the network. Okay. So this is what we have seen in the morning class. Now we'll apply the same to some examples. Okay. So let me take a very simple example where it has got only two sources and two other passive elements. Now find the current in 6 ohm using superposition principle. Okay. So what I have to do here is, this is the load. Load is that element in the circuit in which I'm interested to find the circuit parameters. So once I will consider 10 volt source and keep the 4 ampere source inactive and find the current through it. Next, I will consider 4 ampere source and keep the 10 volt source inactive and find the current through 6 ohms. Then at the end, I will add the currents that I have found by uh, uh, or considering 10 volt source and 4 ampere source individually. Okay. So here, this is the first example. So I will write a small note here, which may be helpful for you people when you, if you go back and prepare. Okay, not when you go back, if you go back. Okay, now here first we consider 10 volt source and find current through 6 ohm by keeping 4 ampere source inactive. Okay, this is first step. Second step, then we consider 4 ampere source and find current through 6 ohm by keeping 10 volt source inactive. By keeping 10 volt source inactive. Then third step, to find total current in 6 ohm, we add both the currents found above. We add both the currents found above. Okay, so we'll start the we'll go for the solution. Okay, now first let me consider I will call it as case 1, case 2, in any way you can call it as. Okay. So case 1, so here consider 10 volt source by keeping, in this detail I will be writing because it is a first example. Okay, by keeping 4 ampere source inactive. That is how to keep a current source inactive in the circuit or make its current 0.
Open circuit.
Yeah, that is by replacing sorry, this is 4 ampere source, right? By replacing 4 ampere source by open circuit. Okay. Now I will redraw the circuit here. This is 10 volt, which is into consideration, and this is 4 ampere source, which is kept open. Okay. Now this is case 1. Let me call the current in 6 ohm, okay, as I dash. I will not take I1, I2, I3 because this is a simple circuit. I can take I1, I2. But when we have multiple loop circuits, then we will assign branch currents or mesh currents as I1, I2. So just to differentiate between the two, I take I dash, I double dash, I triple dash, so that. Okay. So I dash, what is I dash is current in 6 ohm due to 10 volt source. Finding the value is not that important without understanding. Okay, so we should know what we are doing actually. So I dash is the current in 6 ohm due to 10 volt source. Now what is this I dash? I dash is equals to, it is 10 divided by 3 plus 6. So this will be 1.111 so on amperes. Sorry. Is it 10 by 9 is 1.11?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I dash is 1.11. Now let us take case 2. Now in second case, I will consider 4 ampere source by keeping 10 volt source inactive. Now what should I do? That is by replacing 10 volt source by, if I want to make the voltage value 0 in the circuit, what should I replace it with? The source.
Short circuit.
Short circuit. Now again I will redraw the circuit. Now I have to replace the voltage source by short circuit. My 4 ampere current will be as it is. This is 3 ohms and this is 6 ohms. This is 4 ampere. Is it upward or downward current? Upward current. Okay. Now the current through 6 amps, let me take it as I double dash. Okay. I double dash is current through 6 ohms due to 4 ampere source. What is I double dash? Simple. Apply current divider formula. So I double dash is equals to main current is 4 into opposite resistance is 3 divided by total resistance is 3 plus 6. Okay, so it is 12 by 9 which is equals to 1.33 amperes. Yeah, 1.33 amperes. Okay. Now what is the total current in 6 ohm? Therefore, total current in 6 ohm is, say, I is equals to I dash plus I double dash, which is equals to 1.11 plus 1.33. So this is equals to I is equals to, it is 2.44 amperes. Okay, so we have followed as per the statement. What was the statement? In any linear bilateral network, okay, the total response across any element is equal to the sum of individual responses of each source when considered individually by keeping other sources inactive. We did the same thing. First, we considered 10 volt source. We kept 4 ampere source inactive by keeping it open. Then we found out some current in 6 ohms. Then in the second case, I considered 4 ampere source and kept 10 volt source by keeping it closed or short circuit. Then we found out the current I double dash. Then the total current in the 6 ohms resistance is the sum of both currents when considered both sources individually. Now, what is the guarantee this is correct? As per statement I have followed. Now I should be confirmed, is it? Whether whatever the things I have followed as per the statement of superposition theorem is valid. So for this example, we will cross check. This is not necessary every time. This is cross check. Now what I will do to cross check? I will find the current in 6 ohm by using any other method possible, either by circuit reduction, circuit transformation, mesh current analysis, whatever. There are various ways to find, is it? So I will find the value of 6 current in 6 ohm. It should come as 2.44 amperes. Okay. Now in cross check, draw the same circuit once again. This I am doing just to justify that the statement of superposition theorem is valid for any linear bilateral network. I need not to do this for every circuit that I will be taking up to solve hereafter. It is just for the justification. Okay, you can apply mesh analysis, you can apply loop and node analysis, whatever. Let us try with a simple circuit reduction method. 4 ampere and 4 ohms. Sorry, this is 6 ohms. I will convert this current source into a voltage source. Then I'll get a very simple series circuit. See, the 6 ohm is not getting consumed. Okay, so I'll keep it as it is. This is 10 volts. The direction is upward, so it will come plus or minus up down. So the voltage value is 6 4s are 24 volts. Okay. Now I want to find the current in 6 ohms. How can I do that? There is one mesh, there is one current. Apply KVL. You will get only one unknown. Is it? So I can write this as minus 24 plus 10 minus 3i minus 6i is equals to 0. So I can write this as minus 14 plus 9i. Okay, minus 3 minus not sorry, 1 second. 6 4s are 24, is it? Yeah. Minus 3 minus 6, 9 plus 10 is equals to 0. I is equals to minus 14 minus, no, we don't get like that. I don't know. 1 second. What I did here is 3, 6, 4, 10. That's correct. Why am I not getting by this? Okay, let me see with the normal mesh current method. We'll see. Let me keep this aside. We'll see why we are not getting this. So let me see with mesh current. This is I1, I2. So mesh 1 equation I will write it as 9I1 minus 6I2 is equals to 10, and I2 is equals to, I have minus 4 amperes. So 9I1 plus 24 is equals to 10 minus 14. I1 is equals to, here also we are getting the same. Did we make any mistake in finding here somewhat? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 12, 12 by 9.
Sir, in mesh current analysis method, it will be I2 minus I1. Sir, I1 value is 14 by 9.
I1 is 14 by 9. Yes. Minus 14 by 9. I thought this is I1. Then I is equals to, is the current flowing, it is I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1. It will be okay. Minus 14 by 9, how much I get here? Minus
5.
1.55. So I is I1 minus I2. Minus 1.55 minus of minus of minus 4. So how much we get?
So 2.44.
2.44. Okay. So why I am not getting here? That is my question now. We should be getting here also. Minus 24. I think then I cannot apply this method because we can't get that. We have to get the same value. What is happening when I do this, when I combine the sources? I will get back to you this about this, okay? Because in my notes and my book, I have done mesh analysis only. I thought I will try with this in the class directly. I will check on this, okay? This I will check on this and I will get back to you. But it is evident that instead of going with mesh analysis or with mesh analysis also, I got the same current 2.44. With the superposition also, I got the same current 2.44 analysis. So it is evident that the statement whatever we have seen is valid for any linear bilateral network. Okay. Let me move to another example. Using superposition theorem, find current in 8 ohm resistor. Now this is the 8 ohm resistor, which is current I. Now we have voltage sources and we have dependent source also. Okay. So we have to first check how many independent sources are there. Okay. So when we apply superposition theorem for any network, first we should check how many independent sources are there. Okay. So many currents will come in a particular element. Now there are two independent sources, one of 15 volt and one of 20 volts. Once I should consider 15 volt and keep 20 volt as it is by keeping dependent source intact. Once I consider 20 volt and taking out 15 volt by keeping dependent source intact. Okay. Now, first we'll consider case 1. Okay, so case 1. Consider 15 volt source. Now automatically 20 volt is deactivated, okay, or keeping it in it. Consider 15 volt source and keep 20 volt short circuited. Or replace 20 volt by short circuit. I will redraw the circuit. You have to redraw every time. Don't keep your circuit in your mind and then go for solution like that. And here you can write in the bracket dependent source is kept as it is. This is 18 ohms. This is Vx. 15 volts. 18 ohms. 3 ohm. 8 ohm. Okay. Now you can follow any method. You can use node analysis, you can use mesh analysis. It is up to you. In which you are comfortable, you can do that. There is absolutely no compulsion which method to follow to find the current through 8 ohms. Okay. So which one you feel easy? Should I go with mesh or should I go with node?
Mesh.
Mesh. Okay. I1, I2, I3. Now this is the current I will take I dash. Okay. So I dash current in 8 ohm due to 15 volts. Okay. Now For mesh 1, I will not go in detail, okay? Now you know all those things. For mesh 1, it is 18 plus 18, 36 I1 minus 18 I2, okay, is equals to 15. Okay. Then for mesh 2, it is 18 plus 3, sorry, minus 18 I1 plus 21 I2 minus 3 I3 is equals to 0. This is equation 2. Mesh 3, okay, it is 3 plus 8, sorry, 0 I1 minus 3 I2, then 8 plus 3, 11, plus 11 I3 is equals to minus 0.2 Vx. Direction of 0.2 Vx is upward, current is flowing downward, so it is minus 0.2 Vx. Now substitute the value of Vx here, equals to minus 0.2. What is Vx? Vx is the voltage drop across 18 ohm with the polarity positive left side, negative right side. So it is the direction of I1 in 18 ohms. So Vx is 18 into I1. Here Vx is equals to 18 I1. So this is equals to minus 0.2 into 18 is minus 3.6 I1. Okay. So I can take this as, this implies this is 0 I1, or I don't need to write 0 I1. So minus 3 I2 plus 11 I3 is equals to minus 3.6 I1, or I can write this as 3.6 I1 plus 11 I3, sorry, 3.6 I1 minus 3 I2 plus 11 I3 is equals to 0. This is equation 3. Now solve equation 1, 2 and 3. Now and I dash is equals to what? I dash is equals to, it is I3. Solving equation 1, 2 and 3. What do I get? I1 is 0.72. I2
is equal to
0.60.
0.607.
0.607.
minus
I3
0.08.
minus 0.07 amperes. Okay. Now this is case 1 when I consider 15 volt source and find out the current. Therefore, what is I dash? Therefore, I dash is equals to minus 0.07 amperes. Next, case 2. Consider 20-volt source by replacing 15-volt source by short circuit. Now I have to redraw the circuit. Okay. Now 15-volt source is replaced by short circuit. So this is 18. All are in ohms only. This is 18. This is 20 volts. This is 3 ohms. This is 8 ohms. Now this is I double dash 0.2 Vx. Okay. Now again I will use mesh analysis. So I double dash is equals to I3. Writing the equation for first loop for first mesh. 36 I1 minus 18 I2 is equals to 0. Okay, this is equation 1. Equation 2, minus 18 I1 plus 21 I2 minus 3 I3 is equals to 20. The direction of 20 volts and direction of I2 is same, it's 20. Then third case, 0, that is 0 I1, I will not write that, minus 3 I2 plus 11 I3 is equals to 0.2 Vx. This I will write directly now because I know up there. 0.2 into 18 I1. So this is minus 3 I2 plus 11 I3 is equals to this is minus 3.6 I1, or I can write 3.6 I1 minus 3 I2 plus 11 I3 is equals to 0. Now this is equation 3. Solving equation 1, 2 and 3. I1 is equals to
0.85.
I2 is equals to
1.71.
I3 is equals to
0.18.
plus 0.18.
Yes, sir. Plus 0.18.
Okay. Now I double dash is equals to I3 is equals to 0.18 amperes. Therefore, total current in 8 ohm is I is equals to I dash plus I double dash. Now I dash is minus 0.07 plus 0.18 equals to.
0.11.
So equal to 0.11 amps. As a homework, what you do is you solve this example using mesh method or node method and check whether the current in 8 ohms is 0.11 amperes. You do it as your part. Okay.
Okay,
So actually, I thought of solving at least 4 examples, but because of extension of your TNG class, I will end now only. We'll end here for today's class. In the next class, we'll solve another 1 or 2 examples on superposition. Then we'll move to a next theorem. Okay. Any doubts so far?
no, sir.